All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lunar Flow. Today is June 17th, Thursday. And boy, has it been a week, couple weeks, I'm sure, for everyone. So if you are joining in from YouTube or from Instagram, then please find Lunar Flow with Nina on Spotify, and you can go ahead and start pressing play. All right. So today we're actually going to start off a little differently. So I want you to start off lying on your back. So we're not going to fully be in Shavasana here. So a couple options for when you're laying on your back. For some of you, it may feel good to bring the feet together, the knees apart. And you can place the hands to the side. You can place one hand on the heart, the other hand on the navel. Or you can start off with the legs out, the arms to the side. If you want to place a pillow or a bolster underneath your knees, you can do so. Whatever feels comfortable to you, I want you to take this time to tune into your body and ask yourself, what do you need right now while you're lying down? And what feels the best in your body as you lie down? Getting as comfortable as you can. And tuning into how the breath is in this moment. Noticing the quality of the breath, noticing the temperature perhaps of the breath as it enters in through your nose or your mouth if you're congested. And notice the breath as it leaves the body. Is it the same temperature? Is it the same pace? Does it feel the same as when it enters in? Just try to notice these nuances in the breath that we often overlook. And see if you can really bring the awareness down to the abdomen. Maybe even placing one hand on the belly button and seeing if we can imagine that we're filling our navel with breath. The breath expanding on every inhale. And the navel moving towards the spine on every exhale as the breath leaves. Seeing if we can really bring the breath down into the body. Trying to keep our shoulders more stationary and really trying to find more of that movement in our abdomen, really activating our parasympathetic nervous system, cooling us down, soothing us. This allows for deeper breathing, more restorative breathing, and really involves our diaphragm more, expanding the fullness of our lungs. And along with the breath, take the next few moments to notice what sensations are present in the body. And often it is when we are more still, when we are more aware, that we are able to really notice these sensations. Noticing what you feel, where you feel what you feel, and not judging or labeling what you feel as good or bad, right or wrong, simply just observing. Helping you name what sensations you're feeling. You can give them whatever name you want, just to help you describe what you're feeling. If the mind wanders, which is perfectly okay, that happens. After all, we are human. Just see, instead of judging yourself or labeling yourself as not able to be present as well as you'd like, or not doing this right, or not meditating this right. There's no right or wrong on the yoga mat, except to be safe, right? To practice in a safe manner. But just see if you can gently bring the awareness back to a sensation in the body without any judgment, any criticism. Imagining that you are taking the hand of your mind like it's a little child who is wandering off, and you're just simply being kind and compassionate and guiding it back to a sensation in the body. Practicing mindfulness. And at this time, gently start to add some movement in the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, perhaps even swaying. And gently make your way in your own time up to a seat on your mat. Palms together at the heart. Taking this moment to set an intention for your practice this evening. What is it that you want to embody on the mat this evening? Or what is it that you want to visualize this evening? Perhaps what is it that you want to feel? Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Let's do that again. Big inhale in through the nose. Big audible sigh out. Let it all out. And gently open the eyes. Release the arms. We're going to do something a little different today. There's been a lot of energy in the stars. There's Mercury in retrograde. We just had a solar eclipse. We have summer solstice coming up. We have a full moon coming up. And there's just so much happening. So let's just get out some of this junk, okay? We're going to be a little silly with it. So we're going to be a little different today. And I want you to come standing onto your mat. Okay, just stand on the mat. And if you have the playlist going, hopefully you're on the second song, which is a little more upbeat. Make sure that the playlist is not on shuffle and it's going in order. But I want you to just kind of add some movement, okay? Pretend like you're shaking things off. Okay, if you want to play Taylor Swift's Shake It Out right now, that's totally cool. I just want you to shake. Doesn't matter if anyone's watching you, if a pet is watching you, that this is for you. Okay, this is for you. So shake it all off. Imagine that all this energy, all these beliefs, all these ideas of what life should be, of how you should be, everything should be, you're just shaking it all off. Just get it off of you and just start to increase that movement. Okay, maybe shake the head, kick the legs out. Maybe you're gonna start dancing. Okay, do whatever you wanna do. No one's watching you right now. And just shake it all out. I want you to just add as much movement. Bend over, shake the head, shake the arms overhead, wiggle the hips, just get it all out, okay? For the next 30 seconds, I want you to just imagine that everything that you just need to shed from your life, from your body, from your mind, from your soul, that you're just letting it go, okay? So just shake it out. We're also getting rid of that excess heat in our body. It is super pitta today. If anyone's on the West Coast, it is like really hot today. So let's just get out that extra heat. But at the same time, we're mindfully transmuting that yang energy, okay, that we are feeling. 10 more seconds, you got this. Just shake, dance, do whatever you need to do. Sway the body. 5 more seconds here, just get it all out. And then start to slow down the movement. And come to stillness, feet apart, hands to the side. Now notice what sensations you're feeling in the body. Maybe you feel electricity at the fingertips. That's actually a great sign of energy discharging from the body, of stagnant energy just getting out through the fingertips. If you feel the feet have any sensations, that's also a sign of stagnant energy leaving the body. And just once again, deepen that breath, bring it into the belly. And gently blink open the eyes. We will start our Surya Namaskar, but with it being such Pitta energy today, so for those of you who are new to Ayurveda, Pitta is the fire element. It really represents that heat. It can represent our anger. It can represent perfectionism. It can represent criticism. It can represent this need for things to be the way that we need it to be. So we might have that today. Heat can definitely increase that in our body. So we're going to do Surya Namaskar, but we're going to do it a little bit slower. And we're going to kind of do it more mindfully. And I want you, as you do your Surya Namaskar, to focus less on if you're doing it right and just enjoy it, okay? Just be in the body today. If you need to just be silly and start shaking while you're in downward dog or kicking a leg out like a dog, I want you to just really embody what energy comes to you today. All right, so come to the front of the mat. Feet together, heels can be slightly apart, hands to the side, stand tall, Tadasana. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose. And we'll start our flow. Inhale the arms up to the sky, gaze up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, hinging forward at the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway, hands on shins or fingertips on the mat. Crown of the head reaching in front of you. And exhale as you forward fold. Inhale as you rise back up. Arms to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms down at the heart and at the side. Beautiful. Adding on a little bit more. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Listen carefully as you're going to bend your knees, plant both hands. Bring that left foot back and lower that left knee all the way down. Okay, so we're coming into a low lunge. If you need to place anything underneath your left knee, rolling up the mat, do whatever you need, that's perfectly okay. And gently rise up. Sweep the arms up to frame the ears, or you can have the arms down. And you can move that right knee as far past that right ankle as feels comfortable for you. Coming into Anjaneyasana, see if you can open the heart even a tiny bit to the sky. Ask right now for what you need in this moment. Imagine if the heart is opening up this portal right to the universe right now. What do you need in this moment? Inhaling in what that is. Exhaling out what you no longer need right now. And gently rise back up. Place your hands around that right foot. Tuck those left toes. Lift that left knee up, coming into a low lunge. Use your core, hugging your belly to your spine as you bring that right foot back to the left foot. Lower all the way down. All the way down to the mat. Untuck those toes. Push those hands about 6 inches in front of you. Squeeze those elbows in. Keep the gaze down. Even though your forehead is facing down, I want you to bring the gaze to the third eye. So up in between your eyes, in the middle of the eyes, your third eye. Inhale as you lift the elbows up, coming into Cobra. Bringing that pubic bone down on the mat. The heart is open here. And exhale as you lower all the way down. Stay here for a moment. We're going to do one more cobra. This is a really beautiful asana for releasing some excess heat, also opening the heart up, also rooting into that sacral chakra. Breathing here. Gently bring the forehead back down to the mat, and then lift the head up, squeeze those elbows in, spread those fingers wide, gaze at the third eye, even though the crown of the head is reaching in front of you. Inhale as you rise up from the elbows, breathing here, heart open. And exhale as you lower all the way down. Bring those palms back right underneath the shoulders. Squeeze those elbows in towards one another. Bring those feet back together. Tuck those toes. Lift those knees up from the mat and push up into your high plank. And roll back into downward dog. You can separate the feet back to hips width apart. Breathing here in your first downward dog. And tuning into your body's wisdom. What do you need right now? If that is to come into child's pose, then that's what you need right now. If you need to wiggle the body, bending the knees, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, letting the head and neck hang. Spreading those fingers wide. Really rooting down into the inner corners between your index fingers and your thumbs. Deep inhale here, deep exhale out. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms down at the heart and at the side. Deep inhale in through the nose. Deep exhale out. And inhale as you sweep the arms to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale as you bend both knees, plant both hands. This time, bring that right foot back, lower that right knee down. Or if you were doing the other side, just switch sides. Rising up Anjali Asana on the other side, but that left knee can go as far past your left ankle as is comfortable. You need to place something underneath your right knee. That's perfectly okay. Sweeping the arms up to frame the ears, or you can just keep the arms to the side. See if you can just very gently open the heart to the sky. Asking again for what it is that you need in this moment. Maybe it's just presence. Maybe it's just inner wisdom. Maybe it's nothing right now. That's totally okay. Just tuning into what it is that you want to embody in this very moment. Deep breaths here. Keep that breath moving. On the next breath, gently rise up, placing those hands around that left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift that right knee up. You're in a low lunge. Use your core to bring that left foot back to meet that right foot. You're in a high plank. Once again, lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Push those hands down about 6 inches in front of you. The face is down, but the gaze is at the third eye. Bring those elbows into one another. Inhale the elbows up, coming into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Breathing here, keeping those elbows towards one another. And exhale as you lower down, bringing one ear down to the mat. We'll do one more of these. On the next breath, bring your forehead back to the mat. Lift that forehead up. The face is down. The crown of the head is reaching in front of you. Bring that gaze to the third eye. Squeeze those elbows to one another. Spread those fingers wide as you inhale the elbows up. Baby cobra here or forward cobra. Opening up that back, opening up that heart. Breathing here. And exhale all the way down. Squeeze those arms underneath the shoulders. Squeeze those elbows towards one another. So your hands are right below your shoulders. Your elbows are squeezing in towards one another. Tuck those toes. Lift those knees up. Squeeze those elbows in. Squeeze as you push up into a high plank. And go back into your downward dog. Breathing here. So we're really transmuting our yang and pitta energy into openness and expansiveness in the body. We're making use of that heat that we have around us, if you're on the West Coast especially, and perhaps in the body. So we're really transmuting that, letting it discharge from our body with our movement. Nodding the head yes here, shaking the head no. On the next breath, look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale as you rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and at the side, beautiful. On the next breath, I want you to bring your right leg behind you and face the long edge of your mat like you're in a wide-legged stance. Okay, so you're in a wide-legged stance. If you want to kind of work around your mat, if you want to see the camera, you can do so. But I want you to point your toes out. I want you to point the heels in. Okay, we're going to work a little bit into the hips, releasing any stagnant energy from that sacral area as well. Okay. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale as you sink down, bring the arms out to the side this time. For those of you who are in bar or Pilates, you might feel like, uh-oh. Don't worry, we're not going to do those, but we are going to really open up the hips, all right? So I want you to kind of just sink down. We're not sinking back. We're not sinking forward, okay? We're just sinking down, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing here. Inhale as you loosen. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, loosen, straighten very slightly, not all the way. Exhale, sink down. We'll do one more of these. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink down. All right, beautiful. On the next breath, bring your elbows down to your knees. If you need to shorten your stance, I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Okay, and you can do that. Bring your elbows to your knees. I want you to use that right elbow to open up that right hip and look to your left. Very slightly be mindful, right, of the hips. You can bring your right shoulder forward as well. So you're bringing your right shoulder forward. And gently come back to center, straighten the legs to give the legs a break. Straighten the legs, you can rock the hips left and right a little bit here. And gently come down, okay? And this time I want you to actually bring the hands closer to the knees. So last time we did the elbows down, let's bring the hands closer to the knees. And this time bring the left shoulder forward, gaze to your right. So you're really opening up that left hip a little more. Breathing here. And gently coming back to center. Straighten the legs. Breathing here. You can rock the hips left and right. And this time widen the legs again so that the feet are past the hips. You can actually now bring the feet parallel to one another. Okay, so you're kind of like you have two straight lines, the feet are parallel. Your toes can even be slightly more in than your heels. Bring the arms out to the side. This time, bring your right arm to your left foot. And see if you can gaze up to the sky. And for some of you, it may feel good, all right, to bring that left hip slightly down. You can even use that left arm to slightly bring that left hip down, and then you can raise that left arm again. Coming into a twist here. Twists are really good for releasing excess heat, excess pitta. Breathing here. And gently rise up. We're kind of doing like a little bit of a windmill here. So the arms to the side, okay, lower the shoulders away from the ears. This time bring that left arm to that right foot. Right arm is up to the sky, gaze up at the sky, or you can always keep your gaze down. For a moment, just gently bring that left hip down, okay? Gently place that right hand on the sacrum. Okay, gently pop that right hip down, and then you can bring that right arm back up. Breathe in here. And gently lower both hands down to the mat and just simply come into a forward fold. Letting the head and neck relax. You can grab your heels if that feels good to you. You can bring your heels of your hands in line with the heels of your feet if that feels good. Just simply allow yourself to fold forward. Forward folds are also really nice for releasing some excess heat, letting the head and neck relax. Taking deep breaths here. And on the next breath, just come up halfway. Bringing the crown of the head in front of you. Toe heel the feet a little bit closer so that their hips width apart. Hands on the hips. And very, very slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. When you come to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's do that again. Shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Beautiful. All right, so we are going to do 2 standing balancing poses before we come down to the mat. Okay, so you can see we didn't really go too much into sun salutations because there's enough heat around us anyway. So as you can see, I'm trying to get us to discharge any heat, any pitta, any of that sort of unhealthy heat that we can often store in our body and not really know it's there. And standing balancing poses are really awesome because they can be really grounding, right? And they also help to strengthen that core, which we know is really important in a lot of our yoga asanas. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do tree, which is one of my favorites, so Vrikshasana. Okay, so standing in tree, just stand with your feet about hips width apart, arms to the side. Just let the arms relax, the shoulders relax. Option to close the eyes, or you can keep a soft gaze open. And I want you to really root down into both of your feet. Imagine that you are not leaning more towards one side, that you really feel grounded. You have that center line of gravity in between both feet. And it's really transmitting down beyond your yoga mat, into the ground, into the earth. That you feel unshakable right now. That if somebody were to come and try to tap you, you are not budging. I want you to feel really rooted, really grounded right now. And just imagine what that feels like, to feel like you are really rooted and grounded in whatever sense of those words that resonate the most with you. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Maybe even open the heart up, right? Maybe bring the heart forward ever so slightly. Maybe it feels good to place the hands on the hips, kind of like a strong stance, right? Of like, you can't shake me. I'm rooted, I'm grounded. So whatever feels good to you, just feeling really strong in the mind, the body, the soul right now, embodying that strength. Imagine like you are a tree, right? That you are growing your roots down into the ground. You're really strong, you're grounded. Notice what sensations show up in your body as you embody this grounding feeling, this feeling of being rooted wherever you are. And now we're going to even grow further into our trees. So now we're going to shift the weight into the right foot. We're still very rooted, right? We're gonna let that left foot feel lighter. Maybe it'll even lift up from the ground. Okay, whatever calls to you right now. Options for that left foot. You can bring that left heel to that right ankle. You can bring that left foot to the right calf. Never on the knee. Okay, so we always want to be above or below the knee. You can bring that foot above that knee. For those of you who are a little bit open in the hips right now, you can come even into half lotus. Okay, so whatever feels good to you, find a comfortable positioning for that left foot. I want you to really activate that right leg. It is still a very strong tree trunk. Okay, so I want you to activate it. I want you to really activate that right foot, activate that left foot. They're meeting. Two powerful energies are coming together, right? Your left foot into your right leg. Bring the palms together at the heart, shoulders away from the ears, and find something in front of you, either on the ground or somewhere that you can gaze that is not moving, to bring your focus. Keeping that breath moving, and if you wobble or fall out of it, it's perfectly okay. You are still a strong, grounded, rooted tree. And if you feel very balanced where you are, see if you can grow your branches tall. Shoulders away from the ears. Keeping that breath moving, that heart is open. Soften the face, maybe even smile right now if that calls to you right now, imagining yourself as a strong tree. And on the next breath, bring both palms up overhead if your hands are overhead, palms down at the heart, and release that left foot. You can roll over that right foot, left foot. If there's any pain, you can just roll over the toes. And now come back to just standing with both feet. You can close the eyes or keep a soft gaze open. And now notice how the body wants to go to that right foot. See if you can reshift the weight in between both feet. Once again, you're rooting, right? You're not re-rooting, you're just coming back to that grounding, that rooting force that's already within you. And on the next breath, now gently bring the weight more into that left foot so that right foot feels lighter. You can blink open the eyes or keep the soft gaze open still. The option here for your right foot, right heel can come to left ankle, right foot can come to left calf, never on the knee. You can come above the knee, or you can come into half lotus if that's in your practice. So find what works for you right now. Really rooting down into that left foot. Activate that left leg. That is a really strong tree trunk. Your right foot is full of energy. Oops, I'm even falling out of here. If you fall, it's okay. Just get back into it. Your right foot is really pushing into that strong tree trunk. You have lots of strong energy coming together, right? You are a very powerful tree. Bringing the palms together at the heart. Finding a still point in front of you that you can use to focus your gaze. Called drishti in Sanskrit, that stands for your focus. And when you've found a good balance, you can grow those branches tall. Shoulders away from the ears. Softening the face, maybe even smiling. Really embodying that inner strength, that inner grounding, that inner rooting, that inner tree. On the next breath, bring both palms up overhead, palms down at the heart, and release that right foot. Great job. Rolling over the toes. All right, our second balancing pose is Garudasana, and I love this because it feels so refreshing, even if it feels uncomfortable while you're in it. But it's a really great reset, balancing asana to kind of squeeze everything and then release everything. It's like progressive muscle relaxation almost. It's really nice. All right, so bend the knees, keep the seat back as if you're kind of sitting in a chair. I want you to flap the wings. All right, it's gonna feel really nice for the shoulders too. Flap the wings, really embody that eagle. Okay, eagles are very powerful creatures in a lot of traditions. They're very spiritual. They often represent a connection to something bigger than us. So really flap those wings. And next time you flap the wings, bring your right wing underneath the left. If your palms can touch, that's great. If not, you can grab opposite shoulders, okay? But if your palms can touch, bring those elbows up to the shoulders. Bring that right foot out to the right. Pick that right foot up and cross it over, okay, above the left knee. If your left foot can tuck behind your left, if your right foot can tuck, behind your left calf, that's okay. If it can't, that's perfectly okay too. See if you can bring the elbows up to shoulder height. It's okay if you lose your balance and fall out. Have fun with it, right? There's no right or wrong here. As long as you're safe in your practice and you are listening to your body's wisdom. Breathing here. Keep that breath moving. We're squeezing everything together right now, and we're going to release, and it's going to feel so releasing to the body. Bring those wings down to the knee, bending forward, and then release. Sweeping those wings up to the sky. And then reverse the palms to the ground, sweep those wings down. We're resetting our circulation, getting some fresh oxygenation, blood flow, releasing that tension. Bring the arms down slowly to the side. And then if you close your eyes, you can open your eyes. Once again, sit back in that chair ever so slightly and flap those wings. All right, we're almost done. It's the last one, and then we're going to be down on the ground. Flap those wings. And this time, bring that left wing underneath the right. You can grab opposite shoulders, or you can bring the palms together if your shoulders are open. Bring those elbows up to shoulder height. Left foot comes out to the left. Keep that bend in that right knee. Pick up that left foot and place your left leg over that right knee. And see if you can bring your left foot behind your right calf. That's great. If not, that's also okay. See if you can bring your shoulders in line with the elbows. Breathing here. Keep that breath moving. And have fun with this, right? We're embodying our inner eagle. So if you fall out of it, just spread those wings, get back in. Breathing here. Bow those wings down to the knees. And then release. Facing the sky with the palms. Paint a slow circle up to the sky. And reverse the palms down to the ground. Paint a slow circle down to the ground. Taking your time. And when you come with the palms to the side, roll the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Once again, roll the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Beautiful. And gently make your way down onto your mat. Grab some water. Wipe off if there's any sweat, it is really hot, we're releasing a lot of heat, and that can also mean that it's literally coming out in sweat, even if it's not hot outside. That's a good thing. Come down onto your seat. I want you to bring your legs out in front of you. This is a great time. If you have a blanket, you can sit on the edge of a blanket, or if you have a really flat pillow, great little way to elevate the hips, really release some of that lower back tension. Legs out in front of you, feet are flexed. See if you can add some length into the spine. Raise the arms to frame the ears. Inhale, up. Exhale as you fold forward. And I encourage you this time, see if it feels good to bend the knees and just let the chest hug the knees. Let the head hang in between the knees. So separate the feet about hips width apart. See if that feels good. Just to let the head and the neck hang. If it doesn't feel good, then feel free to just continue the normal forward fold. And wherever you are, see if you can let the head and the neck relax. I keep wanting to say head and the hang. That sounds weird. The head and the neck, let them relax. Shoulders away from the ears. So just let yourself just simply fold forward naturally. We're not striving or straining to be anywhere else than where we are right now. We're also not straining or striving for the body to be anywhere else than it is right now. Slowing down that breath. Feeling that belly expand on every inhale. The belly hugging the spine on every exhale. And slowly, slowly, slowly start to roll up. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. You can come off of any blanket or any prop and lower all the way down to your back on the mat. When you come to your back, hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight squeeze, maybe rocking left and right, massaging the spine. You can move your knees in circles if that feels good to you. Just make sure to switch directions. And then come to a still point. If you are pregnant or you're trying to get pregnant, I want you to not do a twist. I want you to simply just bring one knee into the chest at a time and extend the other leg. Okay, coming into Apanasana, wind relieving pose. If you are able to do twist, you're going to have the knees hugging into the chest, and I want you to roll completely over to your left side, kind of coming into a fetal position. Float that right arm up to the sky and start to work that right shoulder blade down on the mat, lowering that right arm down to the mat. The chest is facing the sky. The gaze can be up at the sky or to the right, whatever feels good to you. And you can just let that left hand relax. You can let the feet relax, whatever feels good to you in this moment. What will add the most ease into the body? Releasing any of that last bit of excess heat in the spinal twist from our body, excess anger. Slowing that breath down. Letting go of the need to do any more work now. Let yourself just be. Let the body just unfold as it will. If the mind wanders, you can always ground yourself into the breath or ground yourself into what sensations are present in the body, giving you a peek into the present moment, into what is happening right now. Next breath, very gently bring both feet back down onto the mat, both knees bent. And gently push into the feet, lift the hips up just to neutralize the spine, almost like a bridge pose. And then lower the hips back down. Once again, squeeze both knees into the body, giving yourself a tight hug. You can rock left and right, massaging the spine. And then you can come back into Apanasana if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant. Or if you can come into a twist, roll all the way over onto your right side this time. Coming into a fetal position. This time, float that left arm up to the sky and slowly start to lower that left shoulder blade and that arm down to the mat, the ground. And see if you can relax that right arm, and it's okay if your feet slide away from you. Let whatever is happening right now happen. Not controlling, we're not molding anything into what we need it to be. We're simply allowing what is naturally unfolding to be. All you need to do right now is to be here in this moment. There's no other work that needs to be done. What does the breath feel like right now? What sensations are present in the body? Can you let go of the need to hold yourself in any way right now? How can you release and just be? On the next breath, very gently bring both feet back down onto the mat. But this time we are going to come into a bridge pose. So we're going to take a moment to position ourselves. So try to bring the heels as close to your body so that your fingertips can graze your heels. Your fingertips can graze the backs of your heels. Lower that tailbone onto the mat to begin with. Take a deep inhale in here, a normal exhale out. And then inhale as you start to lift the hips from the mat. Keep that neck and the head facing the sky. You don't want to turn your neck here or your head here. So keep that gaze up. Bring that belly button up towards the sky. If you are open here, you can even clasp the hands underneath the seat and roll onto the shoulders. Breathing here, the cheek is going to start tucking into the chest, and that's okay. Keep that gaze steady. Do not turn the head here. Breathing here as you push into the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. You can unclasp the hands, relax the shoulders if you clasp them. Lower all the way down, one vertebra at a time. And then one last hug of the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight squeeze. Rocking left and right, massaging the spine. And then coming into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of both feet or both big toes. You can continue to rock left and right, massaging the spine if that feels good to you. And then coming down into the final pose of Shavasana, or doing any last movements that you need for your practice. You can grab blankets, grab pillows, grab whatever you need to really feel the most grounded in this moment. Feel free to place a pillow underneath your knees if you want to release your lower back. But just finding comfort in the stillness in this moment. There's nowhere else that you need to be right now. You are exactly where you need to be in this present moment. slowly start to deepen the breath. Bringing movement into the body by wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, stretching the arms up overhead, stretching the legs out in front of you. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto either side, coming into a fetal position, taking a moment here to collect the breath, to start anew. And then when you're ready, making your way up into a comfortable seated position. You sit on the edge of a block or a blanket, a pillow. Bringing the palms together at the heart. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. Big audible sigh out through the mouth. Let's do that again. Big inhale in through the nose. Big audible sigh out. One more time, really let go of all that you no longer need right now. Big inhale in through the nose, filling up with breath. Exhale out all that you no longer need. And then resuming the normal breathing. Giving gratitude to yourself for showing up to your yoga practice this evening. Giving gratitude to your mind, your body, your breath, your spirit. And giving gratitude to those in our lives that show up for us, teach us, help us grow, challenge us, care for us. Giving gratitude to our loved ones. And focusing on the heart space in this moment. If we have more room to give, we can spread this gratitude out to our neighbors, to those we see out in our community. We can spread this out, if you have room, to our city, to our state. And if you have even more room, perhaps gratitude for our whole country, for our whole world, our planet. And if there's even more room, the whole universe. Knowing that any intention that you set on your yoga mat can always go with you when you leave your yoga mat and out into your everyday world, every moment. Our yoga practice is not just on the mat, it's very much so off the mat. I thank each and every one of you for practicing with me this evening. It is always an honor to share this practice with you. Thank you for being my greatest teachers. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, the rest of your week and your weekend. Please take care of yourself, hydrate, and nourish yourself in the ways that you need. Listen to your body and your inner wisdom. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and weekend. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Definitely make sure to practice that self-care. There's still a lot in the air happening right now. There's a lot of good things happening in the air as well. So energies might start to lift up. But as an announcement, I'll be starting a series of Kundalini classes. There'll be 30 minutes each. If you want to participate, they're completely voluntary and free, and they're short if you want to just introduce yourself to Kundalini. So go to my website at theexpandinglotus.com, or follow me on Instagram, actually more so. You'll see the schedule for Kundalini there. If you go to my website, shoot me an email through my website or at theexpandinglotus@gmail.com if you want to get the Zoom link and to see the schedule for Kundalini. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week and weekend. I will hopefully see you again in the future. Take care.